Okay, today we are playing a game on Volskaya Industries. We are playing Roadhog on attack and Winston on defense, and this was a competitive game, but it took place during placement, so who knows what the SR was doing. Current team composition is Diva, Roadhog, McCree, Soldier 76, Farah, and Mercy. So we have 3 DPS and 1 healer. It's not the end of the world because we have a Mercy, which is the important part. We do miss out on having Lucio or Zenyatta to help us enable killing people more, but it's not the end of the world. As long as you got the Mercy, that's kind of the important part these days. Some people are saying that Moira might overtake Mercy. I'll believe it when I see it, frankly. In the accompanying email, it says, "You will hear me complaining a lot in this match about my own stubbornness in picking Roadhog instead of Winston, which I do believe ultimately led to me drawing instead of winning this game. Not to spoil the ending or anything. Nevertheless, I would appreciate advice on how to play Roadhog in the situation I picked him into. As a direct question, is it possible to play the new Roadhog in the main tank / force the team forward position?" I kind of ended that as if I was going to keep going, but that's the end. So, first off, picking Winston on attack would not have actually been a very good decision, because the enemy team is Zarya, Diva, Reaper, Torbjorn, Hanzo, and a support. I'm pretty sure it's Mercy, but it might have been an Ana. So, the thing is with the enemy team is like, yeah, Winston's good against Hanzo, but that's it. The Torbjorn and Reaper make life very difficult for Winston, because you have to avoid them, basically, because they're good at killing Winston. So, and Diva is good at killing Winston, provided the Diva isn't busy kind of just fucking around, as Diva players are known to do. And Zarya doesn't really do that much against Winston, but the only person we're kind of good at killing on their team is Hanzo and their support. So if the Zarya bubbles that person while we're trying to kill them, we won't kill them. So picking Winston against their team is actually not a great idea. I would have probably picked Roadhog in this situation. Alternative, seeing as our other tank is Diva, picking Zarya would have also probably been okay, because you can help the Diva dive in. She's better at diving these people because of defense matrix and micro missiles. And then you can bubble her as she goes in and, you know, pull people in with the Graviton for the Farah ultimate, that kind of thing. Orisa Reinhardt would have been okay, because we have a McCree and a Soldier 76 on our team, so we can stand in front of them, and, well, Orisa doesn't really stand in front of them, but we can put a barrier in front of them and help them do their thing, you know. Winston is probably the worst tank to pick in this situation, actually, against that team, because you're kind of only really good at doing the one thing. And Winston doesn't necessarily, he doesn't synergize very well with our own team, because our team is not very divey, which is kind of the thing Winston is good at on attack. So, the other thing though, the direct question with Roadhog, he can be played as like the main tank, but it depends very heavily on what the enemy team comp is. Because the reason Roadhog is scary and can try and move the team forward is because the threat of being hooked is very scary, and it will force people backwards in most cases. Because if they don't go backwards, you hook them and you kill them. So, provided the enemy team doesn't have a shield, Roadhog is okay at being the main tank. He's not as good at being a main tank as Winston or Reinhardt, but he's better at being a main tank than Zarya or Orisa. He's somewhere in between, because he is hard to kill after the buff to take a breather, and he is scary because being hooked is scary. And then if you're having a lot of trouble like pushing through barriers, you can just wait, build up whole hog, and then just kind of like, we're going forward now, that kind of thing. So he can, but it depends on the enemy team, because if they have a barrier they can just hide behind, then you're not going to be able to hook them, and you won't be able to actually move the team forward. Also kind of depends on the map in some cases as well, because if you're trying to attack Dorado, for example, Roadhog will not have a lot of help, will not do a good job of moving the team forward, because the enemy team is going to be on high ground for quite a lot of the match, and hooking people on high ground is hard. So Roadhog, not so great at doing it there either. He can, it's very matchup and map dependent though, is the short answer. And rather than giving you every possible permutation, I'm sure you can sort of infer from that point on from, like, how easy it is to hook people in certain situations. So, now that that's out of the way, we're going to start the game. So, and I will try to give advice on how to play Roadhog in this situation, because that's what I would have done. So, the main argument picking Winston over Roadhog, by my money, would be Winston's good at killing Hanzo and a support. Well, here's the thing, Roadhog's really good at killing Reaper, provided you do it correctly. A lot of people will do it wrong, and they'll just hook hook the Reaper who's at full HP, and then the Reaper will not die in one shot, and he will kill the Roadhog. If you right-click, hook, left-click, you kill the Reaper 100% of the time, provided you execute it correctly. Roadhog is also good at killing Torbjorn, because you can hook the Torbjorn out, because Torbjorn is probably going to be standing near his turret, which makes him very predictable. You hook him out, and then you kill him because he's easy to hit. And you can actually, like, try and kill the turret. Winston can't really do that. Other thing that Roadhog is really good at, he fucking wrecks D.Va. Because you hook her through defense matrix, and you fuck her up, and then she has to use the jet to try and escape, and if she's used the jet and you hook her, you just kill her. And if she tries to run away and you've got your hook, you just kill her. So, I mean, this is gonna sound like, when I say this, you're gonna be like, well, obviously, but you wanna try and focus on doing what your hero is good at, right? So, you look at the hero you're playing, you look at the enemy team, and sometimes you look at your team and you go, what is my hero good at? And in this case you go, Roadhog is good at killing Reaper, Torbjorn, and D.Va. So my job is make life really difficult for them, and I can let my D.Va try and deal with the Hanzo, because she can also fight Hanzo. So I'm gonna fuck with the other people, so that D.Va can do that. And also, I'm gonna try and, like, make sure Reaper doesn't wreck my backline. So that's what we should be trying to focus on doing in this. And, like, they don't have a barrier. They have a Zarya who can, bubble the people we hook, but she can't bubble every person that we hook. So, our team, it's not very good at diving. It's very slow, very grinder-esque. We have to actually wait until we get a pick and then try to, like, push in off of that momentum, basically, because we're not good at diving. Our team is quite slow, with the exception of Pharah and D.Va. So, we have to, like, play it pretty cool, basically. So, D.Va and McCree got picked off immediately, but Mercy's still in the game, so it's fine. D.Va, Zarya just used her bubble, so she can't bubble the D.Va a second time. She actually got it just as we hooked her, so that's really upsetting, actually. Like, we barely even saw it on the person. So Hanzo's picked off our soldier, but the Hanzo is now dead. So, this is also what we have to worry about as Roadhog. We have to worry about not being an ult battery for the enemy team, because I have won games purely off of the fact I have farmed the enemy Roadhog for ultimates. Like, what we're doing right now is just kind of, like, standing out in the center, like, taking a lot of damage. And, like, yeah, they're not going to kill us. Like, the threat of them actually killing us is very low. But they are getting ult charge off of hitting us the entire time. So, Zarya does make life very difficult for us in this situation, but this is the thing with Roadhog, is she can get them all. One day, we're going to pick somebody off. So, McCree died, but now their Reaper is dead. Our D.Va's lost her mech, but we've just gotten their D.Va out of their mech, and we've got whole hog. We look up in the kill feed, we see their Hanzo is also dead right now because McCree used High Noon. So, it seems like we kind of have lost track of what's happening in the fight overall, because we're retreating right now when we should be going forward. And, like, we were low HP, so, you know, we retreat outward, okay. But the fight wasn't won yet, but we had actually got some momentum going at that point, and we suddenly just, like, backed down. We were like, did I just get separated from my team? So it seems like the main thing that happened was we just kind of lost track of what was happening in the fight as a whole, and just defaulted to running backwards. Scatter arrow is very scary, as we can see right there. So, this is just what we do right now. We wait and we try and hook somebody, and eventually we're going to pick somebody off. That's just how our team is going to end up working, basically. Our team is pretty good at picking people off. We have a lot of people that can pick people off. Also, like, Pharah is really good against their team comp. So, like, really, we're banking on Pharah doing work, because she should be able to do work. See here, like, we're not I guess the idea is probably just to block damage right there, but we're blocking damage for nothing, and we're just giving them a lot of ult charge by doing what we're doing right now. Half of our team is currently dead. Also, we're missing 2 of our DPS and D.Va right now, so even if we were to pick somebody off during this period in time, we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. This is really sad.
Oh.
Because half our team isn't actually here. You don't want to be trying to pick people off when you're at a numbers disadvantage, because it kind of doesn't really do anything. Because your team isn't actually there, and you have to put yourself, like, in an aggressive position to try and pick someone off, which makes it easier for you to get picked off in return, because your team isn't actually there to help you. So, life is difficult for us right now. Molten Core is right here. He's very angry dwarf. We've hooked him out. Zarya still made life difficult. Zarya is going to make life difficult for us. Honestly, I don't think anything that you do in this game really makes a difference, because, like, honestly, I watched most of this game through, and I was kind of like, man, it feels like our team just has no presence at all. Like, Pharah should wreck their team, but Pharah has done exactly nothing. We don't even have Pharah anymore, in fact. We had a Pharah, but then they've changed to Hanzo. Like, Pharah counters their entire team. Except D.Va. But she counters the entire rest of their team, and yet Pharah has been unable to actually do anything. So we pick Winston. And the thing Winston has, I guess, is that he gets onto the point really quickly. But now they just collapse on us, and they're going to kill us, and our team still can't get through the gate because the rest of their team is still there, and it's still very scary. So, we end up not getting anywhere on this point. But you know this game ends in a draw, so they also don't get anywhere. So, but it's just like, I just look at that team comp, and I'm like, what is Winston realistically going to do? You're gonna try and kill the Hanzo and the Mercy, and then D.Va's gonna be there, Zarya's gonna be there, Reaper's probably gonna be there, assuming he's paying attention, and Torbjorn is somewhere nearby, probably. The enemy team is probably somewhere near his turret, and ergo, by extension, Torbjorn. I just don't see Winston getting anything done. I would have picked Roadhog against that team, but, really, I don't feel like it's a game you're actually, like, I don't think you personally had the power to swing the outcome of this game, unless you were going to play like a god and kill like half of their team. But that's not exactly consistent, you know? You don't exactly come into a game like, alright, I'm going to play like an absolute god and kill everyone. If anything, the play might have actually just been to change to another DPS, honestly, because... Or, maybe Zenyatta, because Zenyatta can try and kill those people from further away. You can try and help your team do more damage with Discord Orb. Or maybe just, like, pick another DPS, honestly. Because, like, I don't feel like Winston was the play. Maybe Reinhardt, because our team was having trouble, like, getting through the choke point as well. So having Reinhardt's barrier might have helped with that more as well. But then also, you have to deal with the general sadness of playing Reinhardt that, well, Reaper's just going to kind of walk in and try to kill me. Torbjorn's going to probably walk in and try to kill me. D.Va's going to be there making life difficult. Hanzo's going to try and shoot someone as soon as I take the barrier down, and then he's going to throw his skill in, and it's going to feel really bad. So Reinhardt would probably also end up feeling sad. Orisa would have also been okay, because you can just sort of set out, like, you could set up in sort of, like, this position, and just try to, like, pick through, and, like, try and, like, just sort of, burst through. This is like an awkward way to say it. They try and burst through with just like your consistent DPS, because you had a McCree soldier, and if you also had an Orisa, you would have like a very steady stream of damage. And then you could just sort of try and like slowly inch your way forward, because the team is sort of like, the team was very slow and grinderish in general, so Orisa would help synergize with that more. Basically, the way you play Roadhog in that situation is just you say, okay, I'm good at killing these people, I'm just gonna wait, and I'm just gonna keep hooking them at every opportunity, and then eventually someone's gonna get picked off, either by me, or the soldier, or the McCree, or the Pharah, because we had a lot of people on our team that could pick people off. Sooner or later, someone's gonna get picked off, and then we're gonna try and go through on that momentum. We did manage to get through the gate at one point, and then we kind of gave it up, though that fight was not going great. We hadn't lost the fight, but we hadn't won the fight. It could have gone either way, but, like, they kind of had a bit more tempo than us at the time anyway, so I don't feel like we were super likely to win the fight. But that's basically how you play Roadhog in that situation. You say, alright, these are the people I'm good at killing. I'm going to try and kill them. Eventually, one of them is going to die, and then we're going to try and move in off of that. So, hopefully that answers your question. For what it's worth, I would have probably picked Roadhog in this match against that team. Winston would be, like, really hard to make work. I'm not saying it couldn't work, but it would be really hard to make work against that team with our team. So, I'm currently still on the pen, so I tried to start the video again, and that did not work. So, they have a very different team now. So, we end up, Winston ends up being pretty good against their team now. So, they've got, D.Va up here. We jump up here to get the D.Va out. We've got a Bastion right now as well. So we look at their team, and they're like, their team is kind of the same as our team. Junkrat would have also been pretty good against their team, now that I think about it, because, you can help fuck up the Torbjorn today. Reaper tries to fuck with you, doesn't work. Mine. And then you can just sort of try and bombard people, and like we already did, as we established, our team already did, like, a consistent stream of damage, so then Junkrat throwing in even more, like, steady stream of damage could have also made it work. So, they have a lot of trouble getting through the gate as well. And, like, their team would be slightly easier to get through the gate because they have an Orisa. Their team is pretty similar to how ours was. But that was a very risky maneuver, going outside of the choke point. Winston can retreat away quickly, but Volskaya is kind of hard because the archway and the truck can make it difficult to retreat quickly, but we got away. Very, very narrowly, but I would not have recommended that maneuver. Right now, a lot of their team is actually dead, so this is actually completely fine, and Orisa doesn't even seem to have noticed us, really. So we get away with that one as well, and their Mercy just died, so that's cool. So Winston's pretty good against their team right now, because their team is like Farah, McCree. Here's Farah. We kind of like give up on this one really quickly. Like, we're in the perfect position to fight this Farah because we have our bubble up right now. We just put our bubble down right here. We play around the bubble. Farah can't go anywhere. She's inside a room right now. So if we just put our bubble down inside the room and fight the Farah in and around the bubble, we kill the Farah. There's like no way she makes that one work. So we give up on that one really easily, but we could have probably killed the Farah. So Baby D.Va, we broke her mech and then we kind of gave up on it, but our jump, it's kind of scary to jump over there. I think our jump was actually down, like when our mech broke, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, our jump was down, so we couldn't actually realistically follow her. Never mind, disregard. Now our jump's back up, but she's kind of far away at this point, so we just come back over here. She is still back there, but Baby D.Va flank is not exactly too terrifying. And they still have Hanzo as well, so. Even though we don't actually have, like, a shield to protect our Torbjorn and our Bastion, it all still works out anyway, because they just do a really bad job of killing our team. This is one of those cases where, both team were pretty evenly bad, basically. Because as we all know, watch this is fun. I love when you push a D.Va off the map in her mech, because just the tick is really satisfying. It's my favorite sound in the game, pushing a D.Va off the edge. So, we're back over here now. Here's their Orisa. Most of their team is actually dead, so Orisa can't really do much to stop us, and then we retreat when we see more people coming. Fair enough. The enemy team is really bad. As we know, Overwatch is not about which team is better, it's about which team is less bad. So, in this game, both teams are pretty bad. Here, we have drastically overstepped our bounds. But Mercy's in the game. Well, oh, panic happens here. Well, oh no, I jumped into the dragon, walked out, almost out of the dragon, thought we were in the middle of the dragon, walked back the other way. Oh no. Oh, panic is bad. Oh no. It's okay. It happens. I've been in sadder positions, honestly. So, it's okay. Our Bastion has tank. He killed 2 people. He died, but he killed 2 people, so worked out in the end anyway. So we get back, and the enemy team hasn't really made any progress, because they're just kind of doing a bad job at killing people, basically. They even had a Pharah who should wreck our team. But no. Right? Like, no. Now they have a Widowmaker as well, so great. Enemy team is bad. Like, they just don't know what to do. They just don't know what to do. There's, like, 2 people everywhere, and we're just kind of, like, killing the 2 people, and then, like, nothing else is happening. People are trying to flank out of sync with the rest of their team. They're just kind of not killing people, and they're trying to force their way into this, like, death zone. Well, we have a lot of zoning heroes, right? We got Torbjorn, Bastion, and Junkrat, so there's a lot of zone control on our team, and they're just, like, not doing a good job of, like, circumnavigating it, basically. And, like, we don't even really have to do anything this round, because the enemy team just kinda didn't really know what to do anyway. He's got us in his sights, but his whole team's dead. What's he gonna do? We did take a long time to put the bubble down. We had the bubble down right there. We could have just, like, slapped that down to block the damage from that as well, but nothing happened. I don't think you really make much difference in this game, because it feels like there's too many issues with the team as a whole to actually make it work. Maybe if you play like an absolute god, you can swing it, but, like, I'd be really surprised. I watched this game and I don't think, oh yeah, we could have, like, totally changed the outcome of this game and we squandered it. I think there were too many issues with the team overall. So, hopefully I answered your questions from the email adequately. If not, please let me know and I'll try to expand further. Nothing super huge really stood out, but be more patient as Roadhog, basically. Because there's a lot of just, like, kind of standing out, giving the enemy team ult charge, trying to pick people when there's not actually anybody around on our team, so making the pick is harder and doesn't make that much difference because our team isn't there to take advantage of the pick anyway. So, patience is key, is sort of the only thing that really stood out. In the Winston round, like, we didn't really have to do anything, honestly. Orisa would have probably been a lot better on defense, because of our team comp being the way it is, because, like, if I move out of the way, it's like, man, there's a lot of stationary people we could build a bunker around as Orisa, isn't it? But, we didn't really have to do that much in the Winston round. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer, and I hope you find the video helpful.